Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Olivia Zhang, and I'm the team lead for our project, the CRN mobile app, developed in partnership with WasiCon and the Community Resource Network at Galaxux. This presentation is part of Portland State University's Computer Science Capstone for the Winter and Spring 2025 cycle. Our team includes Angeline, Jordan Dexter, Michael Castillo, Molina, Nhoung, Kayla, Tran, William Smith, and myself. The Community Resource Network is a platform that connects individuals and organizations to share and request essential resources across Oregon. Our project enhances CRN's impact by expanding its web-based system into a mobile app. With this app, users can apply for membership, submit and manage resource requests, and view messages and notifications related to their activity. We focused on refining existing features and building out new functionality to make it easier for people to engage in real time, respond to community needs, and collaborate more efficiently, all from their phones.
For this iteration of the CRN mobile app, our team has implemented many new features, as well as improved the user experience of existing features. Let's take a look at what we've been able to accomplish. Below the login button at the bottom of the screen, we've added a Become a Member option to allow users to create a CRN account for the organization or organizations that are relevant to them. After clicking the Become a Member option, you're greeted with a bit of information about what CRN is, as well as the option to join the CRN. Let's create an account. Because the current iteration of the network only extends support within the Clackamas, Multnomah, and Washington counties, we have a small check to ensure that users reside or intend to provide services within the PDX metropolitan. We'll click yes for our purposes. Here's the first component of the member application feature we've added. Users looking to join the network are required to complete this form before being admitted into the network. I'll fill in some data so we can move on. Now let's submit our form. Before submitting, we have one last check to ensure that the user agrees to the terms of use of the platform. After submitting, the user is given a little bit of information about when their application may be approved, and they're given the option to go back to the login page. From the admin dashboard, we've also implemented application approval functionality. Let's approve John. Once a user is approved, an email will be sent to their inbox with the login details attached. The next feature we've added to the user dashboard is the My New Messages section. Messages are specific to each request. Messages are sent based on the request they pertain to. Users can send messages to their admin or donors, request for clarification, or just send a thank you note. Upon clicking a request, the user is given some general information about the request, the communication, and the specific message that was sent. Scrolling to the bottom of the screen, we can see all of the people that this message was sent to. Moving on to the request dashboard, users are now able to edit existing requests if they have not yet been approved. To edit a request that has been submitted but not yet approved, select the edit icon. Let's edit some information and resubmit the request. Moving on to the messages pane, we're greeted with two categories, notification and communication. Organized by date, we can see our most recent notifications at the top. Like before, we can click the notification to get a bit more detail. Let's move on to the communications pane. Once again, we can see request communication listed here. Moving on to the profile, we've added the member information section. Here, users can view or edit their account information. Let's edit. Once we're satisfied with our changes, we can save them. And that concludes the demo.
The Community Resource Network was created to bridge critical gaps in the way community needs and resources are matched. Despite having over 450 organizations and over 1,600 active members, CRN faced challenges in streamlining real-time collaboration and information sharing across sectors. Their team asked important questions. What happens when referrals fall through? How do we respond quickly to urgent needs without waiting for a monthly meeting? Where can organizations access shared data and broadcast available resources efficiently? These questions point into a core problem: the lack of a centralized, responsive, and user-friendly tool that enables timely connection of unmet needs with available resources across the community. The sponsor needed a platform that could facilitate real-time updates and resource sharing, provide community-level data to inform decision-making, enable urgent coordination across organizations without delay, and support both everyday service gaps and rapid mobilization in emergencies. Our project aimed to address this gap by enhancing CRN's ability to serve as a dynamic digital safety net, one that can quickly connect people, services, and opportunities when and where they're needed most.
To help the Community Resource Network improve accessibility and real-time engagement, our team enhanced the development of a mobile app that extends CRN's existing web platform. While the CRN already connects over 1,600 members and 450 organizations, it lacked a convenient way for users to engage while on the go. The sponsor had started development on a mobile app using .NET MAUI, but it was still incomplete. Our team stepped in to refine several key features, bringing mobile experience closer to meeting CRN's real-world needs. We developed the CRN mobile app using .NET MAUI, making it available on both iOS and Android. We added support for community members, nonprofits, and service providers across Oregon to create and manage accounts, submit, update, and close resource requests, and stay connected through in-app messaging and email. At a high level, our efforts contribute to CRN's mission by making resource sharing faster, more intuitive, and mobile-friendly, helping mobilize support more effectively in both everyday and emergency scenarios. For membership management, we added this button here on the login page that allows a user to start a CRN member application form. Then the user will follow through the steps to complete the form. Then they can submit it. We also added a feature to create new requests. Once that request is submitted, if the user wants to change some information, they can use the edit request page for that. And we also developed the delete request page so that a user can delete a request before it's opened. And once that request is opened, if the user wants to withdraw or mark the request as fulfilled, they can use the close request page for that. We also worked on in-app communication. So we have the notification communication lists. And then these are for notifications on any status change on the request or any email communication. Right now, both pages look very similarly, although in the future, the communications page should allow the user to be able to reply to any messages.
Although we made significant progress enhancing the CRN mobile app, several features and refinements remain to be implemented. If the project is continued, future development could focus on feature completion, performance optimization, UI consistency, and improved maintainability. If we had more time, our team would have focused on implementing key features that remain unfinished and improving both the technical foundation and user experience of the CRN mobile app. One major area is messaging. While users can currently view messages, sending messages is not yet supported. We would complete this feature, improve navigation within the Messages tab, and implement partial data loading with multi-threading to improve performance, especially since the Messages section is currently slow to load. We also identified several admin-level functionalities that need to be built, such as the ability to approve or decline membership applications, differentiate between admin and member views, and manage user roles. For resource requests, future work could enable users to upload images, edit both open and closed requests, and improve request validation and UI responsiveness, particularly on iOS where some components behave inconsistently. From a UI UX standpoint, we would work to standardize font sizes, refine pop-up positioning, improve input transitions, for example, going to next input box, and enhance visual feedback for validation errors. Additionally, we'd clean up the folder structure and refactor duplicate code to make the app more maintainable. Lastly, we'd incorporate optional features like CRN region subscription alerts, improved message detail views, and collapsible communication lists for better readability. Altogether, these improvements would take the app closer to delivering a seamless, real-time platform that effectively connects community members within the resources they need.
Now that you've seen what we built and why it matters, let's take a look behind the scenes at how our team worked together to make it happen. To build a scalable, maintainable, and logically structured mobile application, our team followed the existing MVVM model view view model architecture pattern in the CRN mobile app. This structure separates concerns into 3 distinct layers: model, view, and view model, which helps isolate the UI from the business and data logic, making the codebase easier to test, debug, and extend over time. The model layer handles all data and backend interaction. It retrieves data from the sponsor's API and defines the data objects we use throughout the app. We organize API interactions into separate service classes, which convert JSON responses into usable objects. These services are injected into the app via dependency injection, promoting modularity and reusability across different parts of the app. The view layer consists of the UI components, implemented using XAML and .NET MAUI. Views are purely responsible for layout and visual presentation. They never directly handle logic or data. Instead, they are connected to view models using data binding, which is a core feature of MVVM. For example, in the login screen, the username and password input fields are bound to properties in the view model, allowing instant synchronization between user inputs and underlying data logic. The view model layer contains the app's UI logic. It acts as a bridge between the view and the model, handling commands, input validation, and API calls. It exposes observable properties that the view can bind to, ensuring that UI updates happen automatically when the underlying data changes. This allows the view to remain lightweight and focus solely on rendering. To further support modularity and testability, we use .NET MAUI's built-in dependency injection framework. This allowed us to register and inject services such as our API clients or data repositories into the view model without tightly coupling components. By doing so, we enabled flexible component swapping and reduced the complexity of instantiating shared resources manually. In summary, our architectural approach emphasizes clean separation of concerns, modular service handling, and responsive UI design. Each major component, model, view, and view model, communicates indirectly through data binding or dependency injection, which ensures that updates, API calls, and user inputs are handled cleanly and predictably.
Our development process follows an agile style methodology. We conduct weekly team meetings on Mondays to review progress, discuss feature implementation, and plan upcoming tasks. Additionally, midweek reviews on Wednesdays allow us to assess the development flow and adjust priorities as needed. Task tracking and project organization are managed through Jira, where work is broken down into tickets that are updated as a task progresses. For development, we use Visual Studio with .NET MAUI as our primary framework for cross-platform mobile app development, allowing for efficient testing on both iOS and Android emulators. Code is stored in GitHub, where we follow a branch-based workflow to ensure that each feature is developed separately, tested, and merged only after a thorough peer review. Every pull request requires 2 approvals before being integrated into the main repository. In addition to weekly team meetings to track progress, we plan to invite deep sponsorship team meetings every 2 weeks to provide updates, demo the latest developments, and gather feedback. This also gives team members the opportunity to ask clarifying questions, which will help align expectations and reduce the risk of miscommunication.
Our team collaboratively worked on improving and refining existing functionality throughout the app. William, Olivia, and Angeline focused on enhancing the member profile features, while Kayla, myself, Michael, and Jordan concentrated on refining the resource request workflows. Olivia played a flexible support role who stepped in wherever was needed, including to fix bugs, improve UI consistency, and polish unfinished work, helping to complete features where priority shifted. While everyone contributed in different ways, our collective efforts brought the project to its current stage. Each team member brought value to the work, and together we built a more usable and functional app for CRN. One major challenge we faced early on was getting up to speed with .NET MAUI, which was unfamiliar to most of the team. Learning the framework structure, the model view model pattern, and the platform-specific nuances took time. By the time we gained confidence, we were already deep into the development cycle. This led to a code base that wasn't as scalable or as clean as we would have liked. To mitigate this, we made an effort to log known issues, add inline documentation, and flag areas for refactoring so that future developers would be able to pick up where we would have left off more easily. Another unexpected hurdle was working with APIs that were either still in development or not immediately clear to us. Early in the project, we didn't fully understand how to use the available endpoints or how to test them effectively with the tools at our disposal. As our understanding improved, integration became smoother. Maseeh's team was extremely helpful throughout this process, and they responded promptly to our questions, provided clear guidance, and even gave us demonstrations that help us better understand how the APIs worked. We also used placeholder logic where APIs weren't immediately available to us and documented our assumptions so we could continue development without blocking progress on other features. Throughout this project, we learned how critical it is to gain a solid understanding of the tools and frameworks early on. We also understand the importance of clear communication and coordination with external teams, especially with Wasi and his team, to avoid misunderstandings and integration delays. If we could do this again, we would prioritize setting coding standards up front, spending time reviewing and cleaning up existing code before building on it, and organize the folder structure early on in the project. We also recognize the value of clear role definitions and better internal documentation to keep everyone aligned. Despite the challenges, this experience taught us how to adapt quickly, collaborate under uncertainty, and improve communication. These are skills that are essential for working on real-world software development teams.
Here's the feedback we received from Wasi, and in response, I'd like to say it was an incredibly meaningful experience to be able to work on a real-world project that supports community impact. Wasi and the Galaxux team were extremely generous with their time and very thoughtful in their feedback, and we're deeply grateful for the opportunity to contribute to the CRN platform and to be trusted with work that matters. This experience has challenged us, pushed us to grow as developers and collaborators, and gave us insight into what it really takes to build something with purpose. And now to end with some very special acknowledgements. We'd like to give a huge thank you to our sponsor, Wasi Khan, as well as Hajra Khan and the CRN team for their ongoing support, guidance, and responsiveness. We're also grateful to our professor, Bruce Irvin, for supporting our growth throughout this capstone experience. And finally, thank you to each member of our team. We're proud of what we've accomplished, and we're excited to see the CRN project continue to grow through Galaxux, reaching more people, expanding its impact, and helping communities come together to support one another. Thank you all.